Hey everybody, welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear. Oh yeah. And then discuss it over a mug of Blue Moon. Ooga. I'm your boy, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here by Kat Halstead the Author, who's over there drinking like Baja Blast or something. I don't know what you're drinking.
No, this is green tea.
Oh, healthy.
This is an iced green tea from Panera Bread.
Oh, look at you. Being healthy in 2022. I don't know, it still has caffeine in it, right?
Yeah, it has caffeine, but like not as much as if I was sucking down a Dutch Brothers right now.
Yeah, unofficial sponsor of the show, Dutch Brothers Coffee. It's been a while since we've talked about you. What are you guys up to? What are the bros up to? We're dying to know. Tweet us at VeryPodcast and tell us where you've been for the last 8 months, maybe 9 months by the time this drops.
For all I know, Patrick, one day you're just going to drop like 10 episodes at once.
Oh, yeah. You know, we're going to release the tapes. Isn't that like a thing, like release the tapes? Wasn't there like a famous like scandal about like tapes? I feel like there was.
The Watergate tapes?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm thinking of the movie Dick with Kiki, a girl Kiki Dunst.
Oh my god, and what's her face? Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams, yeah. Jinx.
Oh my god. I haven't thought about that movie in forever. And it's part of like that era of movies. Like there were just all these great teen movies at once.
Like I felt like one came out every week.
Yeah, like we had American Pie, we had Dick, we had the one I watched Friday night, Loser. And I watched that because TikTok is just like teenage dirtbag all over the place.
We get these Tara Reid clips and Paris Hilton trying to own us. By the way, I want to go back and isolate the audio of you saying we had Dick. I don't know, it's going to be a new sound drop from the podcast.
Oh my god. I am so glad my coworkers do not listen to this.
I don't know. I feel like someone has. Some of them has. I
mean, I'm sure like someone has, but like there could actually be people who listen to it and don't know I'm their boss.
Yeah, wasn't there didn't you have like a coworker who like never heard you cuss before and you like
oh my god, yes. That's right. It was one of the older ladies.
Yeah. Professional cat out the window.
Yeah.
It was an older lady. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was like a teenage girl for some reason. A nice teenage dirtbag.
No, it was like this woman who's probably a good 10 years older than me.
No, I'm picturing like a proper British lady, like Mrs. Doubtfire for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh my god. Like, if you could see what my coworkers are like. Listen, I got one coworker. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. She thinks the FBI is out to get her.
You mean they aren't? Thought they were.
Like, she literally thinks they are watching her. That all this crazy stuff. Like, we had an issue where she couldn't log into the time clock program. And I was like, this is your responsibility. You need to get this done. Like, we cannot keep doing this. Like, you need to have it done by your next shift. And she looks at me and she points her fingers and she goes, I don't want the FBI getting my information. And I'm sitting there like, trying to like hold it in. I'm like watching as she walks out the door. And I wait for the door to close. And I slowly rise from my desk and I walk over and my boss goes, I know, she's crazy. And I'm just like, if the FBI wants her information, they probably already have it.
I just picture your work.
Like, don't say that to her.
I just picture your workplace as like the town hall and The Simpsons. It's just all these like the Bumblebee guy is there and like I don't know, comic book guy. Like I don't know, like I just feel like it's this crazy smorgasbord of
people. It is 100%.
And whatever, I don't know, Colorado Springs, they all flock there from somewhere in the world. It's like a magnet for wacky people.
Oh, it totally is. And that's like not including the people who work from home.
Oh, so you don't even know what they are up to.
Oh yeah, no, like, I have people who are like directly under me. I don't even know what they look like.
They could be like dressed up like a clown or like wearing like a hot dog costume from the party shop. Right? From like Spirit Halloween, yeah.
But then I like think about it and I go, there are like weird things that my coworkers and I do because we are weird. We admit it.
Aren't we all? I mean, you have a podcast about television series from yesteryear.
My like best friend at work, he and I have been working together for like 4.5 years. So like we have like weird inside jokes like just between him and me that we can like bring up, and everybody around us is like, what the hell? But then we start typing it in the chat room and it just seems weirder. And I'm just like, times I'm like, I wonder what like the work from home coaches who have never met us think we are like, because we come off crazy.
I stand. I love it. I love it. I wonder, do you still work with the guy from Insane Clown Posse? Is he still on your team?
Oh, okay, so the white rappers, there's only one left, and he is actually no longer in the department.
Oh.
He moved up.
Okay, good for him.
But I'm like the only one in my team that talks to him. And it's funny because like we need to be like in communication with him, but for whatever reason, like whenever we need like a new chat name for a coach or something, no one else will do it. I've had people who like will train for 2 days without this chat, and I'm like, why? They're like, oh, nobody asked Jeff, and I'm like, you just go and you ask Jeff. You like give him a call or you send him an email. Like, he's right there. Like, don't make me have to wake the man up on a Saturday morning to get a chat name because you guys didn't do it for like 3 days.
You mean he just has a regular name? His name is just Jeff? It's like nothing exciting? Like I don't know, like Trippy T?
Yeah, no, his name is Jeff. Okay, that is not his stage name. His stage name is Psychosomatic.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting progress. And Jeff, a.k.a. Psychosomatic, still owes us a theme song, by the way, just in case you happen to be listening to this Psychosomatic.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever coming. We might as well move on. We could probably get something else.
Yeah, you know what? We'll figure it out.
I'll look into it later.
Yeah, add it to the list. All right. So enough of, I don't know, crazy Colorado Spring town hall citizens. We're here to talk about something very important. Probably like the greatest 22 minutes of television that I ever watched in like the last year of my life.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of sitcoms, but I don't actually like sit there and like LOL in real life, but I was LOLing in real life at this. Like I was just all over the place. I was like rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off. Was it Rough Limo or something?
Something like that. You would think we would know that because we were on the internet when that lingo started.
Yeah, and I still didn't even understand it at the time.
But yeah, like this is a great episode. We know I love this show.
Yes, and we've done it before. I think at least once, maybe twice. Who knows?
Something like that. We've definitely done before, so you know we love it. It's close to our hearts. It's one of our favorites. It is potentially coming back.
Yeah, they've been saying that for like a decade now, though.
Yeah, though.
They better hurry up. They better get on that.
It takes a while to make a cartoon, though. But then again, the guys on South Park can do it like a week, so who knows?
So anyway, we're here to do... I'll let you name drop it because, I don't know, I feel like you selected it.
An episode of King of the Hill, Season 6, Episode 1, so the season finale, Bobby Goes Nuts.
This is the season premiere, not the season finale.
Or season premiere, not finale, sorry.
I was like, oh shit, did I watch the wrong episode?
No, we watched... I even said Episode 1.
You know what? I almost did watch the wrong episode because I thought we were supposed to do the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar playing the older girl that Bobby like makes out with at a party.
You keep trying to push that episode, and it's not as good as this one.
I feel like you suggested that, and like I watched it and was like ready to discuss it, and like you're like, no, we're doing the more Bobby is like kicking boys in the nuts, like kicking bullies in the nuts. I was like, oh, okay, let's do that one. I haven't seen that episode in a while. Such a great episode. All right. So the episode's called Bobby Goes Nuts, and this aired on November 11th, 2001, way back when, like 21 years ago, coming up pretty much.
So we're in college.
Yeah, the first time. College 1, not college 8.
Hey, some of us only went to college once.
Yeah, well, you know what?
We didn't graduate, but...
So, this is a wild night of television. I'm going to say, if you don't give this a Cat 5, because I feel like we get something for everybody here. Like, Grandma, Junior, I don't know, like the 40-year-old ladies, the 20-year-olds, Just the random people that don't have cable. Like, there's a lot going on tonight. And it's a Sunday night. It's a Sunday. So, like, Sunday used to be hopping back in the day.
Okay, so, like, we're in college. Everything got pushed back because of 9/11 and baseball.
Yeah, but it's been a month and some days. It's been exactly 2 months. 2 months to the day. We're a healing nation.
So I have gone down to the Cub, the College Union building, for dinner.
What do you think you ate tonight?
Probably nothing special, because Sundays were always, like, the worst night.
What was it, like leftovers from Friday or something? Shit they couldn't sell for lunch?
Just not anything, like, special. Like, you could get, like, a variety, like, the rest of the week. Even Saturdays weren't too bad, but, like, Sunday night was just, like, the off night.
There wasn't, like, a Huddle House you could have gone to?
A what?
A Huddle House? You don't have Huddle House?
What the hell is that?
It's like a Waffle House, sorta. It's like one of those, like, all-night diners. They serve breakfast all the time.
We had a Denny's.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a Denny's, basically.
Yeah, like the Denny's in Durango. I was there in January. It was a little crazy because I was drunk and at Denny's in Durango, and I'm like, what is my life?
Was your name still carved into a table?
No.
Did you do that?
Not that I think it ever was.
Well, you never know. Maybe you got, like, tipsy one night and, like, took out your little Swiss Army knife and carved your name. Like, Kat was here, WUZ, November 11th, 2001. I'm sorry, 2001. Get my years mixed up. All right, you ready to go into this wild night of television? Because...
Yes, I am dying to know about this wild night of television.
All right, you want to start with our boys at the Alphabet ABC, see what they're up to this evening?
Yeah, what's ABC? ABC's going to give us, like, America's Funniest Home Videos.
No, they don't.
No?
No, you know what? We weren't ready for laughter yet. We were a healing nation.
Okay.
We needed things to be serious, except for Bobby kicking boys in the nuts. But that, you know what? That was already made. That was made before.
I wonder, like, this had to have been somewhat of a healing moment for some people.
Probably. I could see it. I could see it happening.
Yeah, I could see it.
All right. Things kick off at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night on ABC. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, okay. That still had a grip on the nation.
I feel like we're in the wind down, though, because I think, like...
Yeah, we are. We're, like, in the wind down, I feel like.
People don't care anymore.
But it still had this crazy grip because it's about to go into syndication and be on every day.
Yeah, we probably had, like, maybe, like, 2 millionaire winners by this point, and, like, no one cared anymore. Remember, like, the first guy that ever won $1 million? It was, like, a big deal. It was a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
A BFD.
It was like, oh my god, you actually won this crazy trivia game show.
Like, they even, like, warned us ahead of time.
Like, really, all I remember about, like, when it was popular was Regis had the shiny ties.
Oh, yeah. He invented the shiny ties.
Yeah. Like, the shiny ties. Like, that's what I remember.
It worked with the lights and then, like, the background colors of the show, too. And, like, the colors they used for, like, the graphics, too. So it kind of, like, it all went together pretty good, so.
Okay, this is hilarious. One of the guys at work made a meme that set up, like, a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire screen. And for, like something for the interviewers. And one morning he's like, hey, Chris approved this, but I need your approval on this, too. And I'm like, I think if you get the approval from one of us, you should be fine to use, like, whatever, like, you know? I'm thinking, like, what's in it that it's that questionable that Christina wants me to be the one to, like, not approve it? You know? I'm like, what's happening here? And then, like, I get it, and it's like this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire screen, and there's, like, my boss Christina's face, and then there's mine as, like, the call a friend with, like, tips on how to be a good interviewer.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, where did you find this picture of me?
Were you wearing your working girl shoulder pads, Sigourney Weaver, villain?
I was like, this is so weird. But, see, work can be like a night court situation.
It could. All right, let's move along. We're going to go along to an ABC Sunday night movie. We're going to the movies. And it's a cinematic release. It's a cinematic movie tonight.
Okay.
It's a movie from 1998.
Okay.
I've maybe seen it once. I'm going to say you've probably never seen it. It was... I feel like it won an Oscar for something. And it stars one of our boys. Like, one of our boys is in it. One of our longtime boys.
I need, like, more of a clue here.
Okay. It takes place in war times.
Was it Saving Private Ryan? I feel like the nation was too depressed for that.
You got it.
What?
Tonight. Saving Private Ryan. You know what? We're a nation that's healing. We want to see good war stories. And how about the greatest war story of all time? Saving Private Ryan.
I have seen Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I remember my friend and I wanted to go see it, but we couldn't get tickets because we were 16.
Oh yeah, because it was a hard R.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go and you didn't go outside and con some 22-year-olds to buy you tickets to go see Saving Private Ryan?
No. I was still living in New Jersey. We were still everybody knew everybody, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Couldn't work.
Yeah.
Couldn't work. Okay. You want to go over to CBS, see what our boys at the Tiffany Network are up to tonight?
Yeah, but okay, what's CBS got?
All right. You're going to get the 7 o'clock slot. Tick, tick, tick. You know it.
60 Minutes.
Yeah, of course. This is a staple. Not to be confused with 60 Minutes 2, which we learned was a thing in the Law & Order episode. All right. At 8 o'clock, the 8 o'clock hour is a show I've never actually heard of, but I'm kind of mildly intrigued by this. Are you familiar with a show called The Education of Max Bickford?
I have heard the title, but I can't tell you anything about it.
It was it starred Richard Dreyfuss, Marcia Gay Harden, Katie Sackhoff, and Helen Shaver.
Huh.
And Richard Dreyfuss, he's the titular character. He's a college professor of American Studies at Chadwick College, an all-women's school in Massachusetts. And I don't know, he just kind of raises these kids, I guess. I don't really know what happened. Kids, they're college kids.
According to Google, a professor whose life is turned upside down is passed over for a promotion that goes to a former student with whom he had an affair.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, his daughter is trying to find her way in life, and his best friend undergoes a sex change operation.
In the cast photo that I'm looking at, there's a girl with pink hair. So, I don't know, that must have been pretty wild for the time, he thinks.
That's probably totally the daughter.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Totally the daughter.
Following The Education of Max Bickford is, it's actually a special tonight. It's the 50th anniversary of something.
Okay.
Something very, very major. We've actually done this. This has been a topic on the podcast several times. Yes. It's been 50 years of this in 2001.
Okay.
I keep wanting to say 2011, but
Oh my gosh.
Just think about it. What happened 50 years prior to 2001? Everyone got a television in their home?
Would it be Lucy? It'd be Lucy.
Yes, you got it. It's the
I was having to do math, Patrick.
50 Years of Lucy was on tonight. We probably got some clips. We probably got some hot clips. Maybe her at the candy factory. Maybe her trying to do a seance.
Oh, yeah. You get the Vitamin Vegemin at the candy factory, the bread.
Maybe singing Cuban Pete, maybe? Who knows?
Groucho Marx and the flaming nose. And
maybe the Connecticut years. Who knows? We probably got all kinds of wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to go over to Fox? You ready to see what our boys at the Fox, our Foxy boys are up to tonight?
Okay.
7:30, Bobby Goes Nuts, King of the Hill. We'll get to you in a hot minute. Stay tuned. Any guesses on what's coming up at 8 o'clock?
The Simpsons?
You got it. What about 8:30? Do you think you can get this?
Ooh.
It's a show I keep saying we should do, and you just veto it every time for some reason. I don't know why.
8:30 on a Sunday.
In 2001. The big year, 2001. A Space Odyssey.
I don't know.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh.
And then following that is the 9th season premiere of The X-Files. Ooga.
Okay.
And tonight's episode is when Carrie Elwes joins the show.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out what was between X-Files and The Simpsons, because I knew X-Files was on this night.
You aren't going to say Martin, I hope, right?
No.
All right. You want to go over to our boys at NBC?
Yeah, what's NBC got tonight? I'm very curious. This is a very interesting evening of television.
Yeah, and there's more. I got some off-network shit too. That we
oh God! Oh my God! I'm so excited.
All right. 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Dateline, NBC, and I know what the topic is tonight because I was able to find it.
No way!
Take a guess. Take a hot guess. It's 2001. There's a new sci-fi craze sweeping the nation. I wouldn't even call it sci-fi, more like fantasy maybe. Book series and a movie series that I've never read nor watched. But it's still kind of around today. There's spin-offs that keep cropping up every now and then. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the author.
Is this when the Left Behind series was coming out?
Oh, I wish. I wish that was what we're talking about. No.
I don't know.
We're talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, sci-fi. I want to call it sci-fi.
I corrected myself and said fantasy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Correction corner.
Yeah, Harry Potter. I still haven't read those books.
Yeah, me neither. You know what? I just, I know, some words,
Muggle?
Quidditch? Is that a thing?
Quidditch?
People say? Doesn't everyone have, a stone or something, or, a house or something?
Okay, we're gonna find out what house you belong in. We're gonna go to the Sorting Hat later. I'm a Slytherin.
That's the word I was looking for. Slytherin. Okay. All right. We're gonna do a game show on NBC at 8 o'clock. It's not Millionaire. What else was popular around this time?
Oh, The Weakest Link.
Yes, you got it.
You are the weakest link.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I've never watched that.
I watched it once. I never... Okay, I didn't really watch Millionaire that much. I didn't really like the whole game show craze that led us to Survivor and Big Brother. I didn't really get into.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Millionaire when it first popped, and then after the first person won $1 million, I was out for a while. Then they brought in celebrities, and I wanted to see how they would fare.
Oh yeah, it's always fun to see how the celebrities do, and who their phone a friend is.
Oh yeah, you wanted to know, I think you'd be calling up I don't know, Ellen DeGeneres or something.
Who are they gonna call? Oh my god. Is it going to be somebody famous or their third grade teacher?
Who would have you called in 2001? Let's say you were the star of something. Let's say you were on The Education of Max Bickford. We're in this alt reality where it's the hottest show on television. You're the girl with the pink hair, and it's the hottest show on television. It was on it's still on the air today. It's the new, well, not the new. It's the original Grey's Anatomy where it just it goes on forever. And who would you call in 2001? What'd you call it? Julia Stiles? Heath Ledger?
Oh my gosh. That's a good, 2001.
Maybe Katie Holmes?
Yeah, I'm calling Derek Jeter. I'm calling the guy from the Yankees, Mr. November.
You know what? He might be busy tonight, though. He might be busy, so you probably could get him on the horn. It's November, after all.
Diamondbacks won the series.
Yeah, and you know what? They probably take the shit in advance anyway, so... he made sure he was available.
Yeah, they definitely make sure, because they have a camera there.
Yeah, he was in a dugout. You know what you were calling him from the dugout?
It's in the dugout. You're Kat Halstead's photo friend.
I probably would have called, what's his name from Smallville?
Tom Welling?
Yeah, I probably would have called him for some reason. I don't know why. Why not? He probably had some good knowledge in that noggin of his.
I mean, that is before the girls got into that cult.
That is true. That is true. Or, you know what? Maybe I would have called Matthew Lillard. I feel like he would have been, up to do it. He probably wasn't doing anything at the time.
Oh, yeah. Probably hey, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I might have even called the crocodile hunter guy, Steve Irwin. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
I think I got an animal question.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, you ready for 9 o'clock on NBC? This is,
Yeah.
We just recently talked about this. Dun dun. Guess which Law and Order was tonight?
Criminal Intent.
Yes, you got it. And then at 10 o'clock, a show, UC Undercover. Do you know this?
I totally saw something about that recently.
It was...
Because, you know what? I was looking for crime shows to watch because I had watched everything I could of Law and Order. I was looking for other stuff, and I saw something about it, and then I didn't watch it. And looking at the cast, I'm like, what is this cast?
It had Oded Fear on it. I know that name, but I couldn't tell you what else he did. Oh, he's on, Covert Affairs. Okay, I know that guy.
I recognize people in this picture, but, I don't recognize any of their names.
Yeah, this is just about, the lives of, I think it's, Justice Department people.
The Special Operations Group is an elite unit within the Justice Department that busts the country's most untouchable lawbreakers by going undercover. Frank Donovan is the unit's leader, assisted by undercover agents Jack Shaw and Alex Cross, psychological profiler Monica Davis, and young surveillance wizard named Cody.
All right, you want to go over to the WB? I have some WB data.
Yeah, what's the WB airing this night?
There's two shows that I've heard of, never seen, and then there's two shows I have never heard of, and I didn't even take the time to look it up, because I'm just that lazy.
Okay.
All right, things kick off. Actually, we get a sandwich. It starts off with the show I've heard of, and it ends with the show I've heard of, and the two, the meat in the middle is, I I don't know, it must be like, it's like a vegan meal tonight.
Okay.
So things kick off with the Steve Harvey Show.
Okay.
A show that I know of, I'm aware of, I've never seen an episode. Ever. Not even once. Not even by accident.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of that either.
I've never, like, flipped through the channels and stopped on it for 15 seconds. Just never.
It just never pulled you in.
And then at 8:30, Men, Women, and Dogs.
What? That cannot be. That cannot.
I'll let you do the honors of looking it up. I'm just dying to know what this is.
Oh my god. Like, what? Okay, no, that's not it. I got something for the Disney Plus that is currently available. I don't think that's it.
All right, I found it. I got it. It's it starred Bill Bellamy.
Oh, yes, Bill Bellamy. I just found the Wikipedia.
Shout out to Bill Bellamy. It also had other people I don't know in it.
Danny Pino, Mike Damas, and Nicholas Lang.
It's about the series centered on 4 guys who meet every day with their dogs at an LA dog park. Among those shown were Jeremiah, a chef, Clay, Jeremiah's best friend, Eric, a surfer, and Royce, who didn't have a dog but thought the dog park was a place to meet girls. It was on for 13 episodes.
I mean, that sounds perfectly acceptable for the WB.
And Ken Tucker of Entertainment Weekly described the series as the most insultingly moronic, sniggering sitcom of the year.
Wow.
Pretty bad. Yeah, I remember Bill Bellamy being on a show, but I guess maybe he was on another one, because this is not it.
I mean, what I remember about Bill Bellamy is, like, he would, like, do the,
Def comedy things?
announcement stuff at, like, the play-by-play stuff at high school football games.
Yeah, he was, like, obviously he was the MTV VJ. He was on, like, MTV Jams, MTV Beach House. He did, like, a few movies here and there.
Yeah.
He might have been a stand-up comedian, too. I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Whatever happened to Bill Bellamy?
He was in an episode of SWAT in 2020. So he's still out there hustling.
Oh, so my nephew has seen that.
Yeah, and he was in a movie last year, a TV movie called A Rich Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. This is the most shocking thing I've seen on his IMDb. In 2013, he was in Kindergarten Cop 2. Who knew there was a Kindergarten Cop?
Wait, seriously?
Oh, my God.
I thought this was a joke. Oh my god, it's not.
It's real, and it has Dolph Lundgren.
Starring Dolph Lundgren.
What does this world come to?
Like, he's not even the top billed actor, but he's the only person on this cover I recognize. If his name was not there, I would not know.
Yeah, he's not even, he's like the 5th name on this. Like, on this cast list.
That is cool.
You know what, we gotta track it down. We'll track it down.
I mean, to be fair, Lundgren was He-Man in the live-action He-Man, but still.
That was true. All right. You ready for the WB 9 o'clock, 9 p.m.?
Yeah, I'm totally still thrown that Men, Women, and Dogs was the thing.
Have you ever heard of a show called Off Center?
Maybe.
Apparently it was on for 2 seasons. Lasted 2 whole years. Oh, it has John Cho in it, Jason George, and Eddie K. Thomas.
Yeah, it's the guy from, what's it called? American Pie.
You know what? I do remember this as being a show.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember, like, catching parts of it. I don't think I ever actually sat down and watched it.
I might have seen it like TV Guide or something, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like, if my roommate and I were flipping through the channels or something, maybe we saw it, but, like, we were not sitting to watch this.
You know what? You didn't grab your fried haddock from the student union building and brought it up to 42B or whatever your unit was called.
210 Upper Palmer.
All right. We are in the midst of Nikki Cox mania right now. This was her short-lived sitcom, Nikki, right before she was on Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm very, very concerned, like, these were actually shows.
I think it was on for like 2 or 3 years. Like, I think it had like a respectable run, but like they just kept it going because, I don't know, she had big tits and red hair. So, I don't know, like, she probably had like pictures of the WB's president in like compromising situations. Actually, this was only on for 2 years, 41 episodes. Why did I think it was on longer for some reason? I don't know why.
Dude, Jason George from Sunset Beach was on that show with Off Center. He's like one of the starring people. This is like a pretty like awesome cast for that off-center show. Like Sean Maguire, I love Sean Maguire. Like he was in one of my favorite like one season sitcoms, The Class, and I think he was like Robin Hood or something on Once Upon a Time. Heather will know, and I expect that tweet. John Cho was on this show. Sorry, I was just like reading and connecting, and it was all making sense all of a sudden.
All right, you want to hear something very wild about the TV series Nikki?
Yeah, give it to me.
In one episode, Amanda Bierce and David Garrison came onto the show and played Marcy and Steve Rhodes.
You're shitting me. You're shitting me.
They reprised their role as Marcy and Steve.
Wow.
All right, and I got one more.
I don't know if I can handle anymore.
Just one more. We're going to go over to PAX TV for the 8 o'clock hour. And actually, it's on for 2 hours tonight, from 8 to 10. It's a 2-hour special presentation of Billy Ray Cyrus's Doc.
I knew this as soon as you said PAX TV. I knew this was coming.
Which, Doc is a show I've never seen, but I am wildly aware of it.
I haven't either. Oh my god, I wonder.
And it was on for a while, wasn't it? Wasn't it like... It was on for 4 years. It lasted 4 hot years on PAX TV.
It is not available for streaming.
No. Like 8 people in the world watch this show. I 100% believe that. All right. I'm going to ask the age-old question. On a scale of 1 out of 5, we'll go with pink-haired college girls. How many pink-haired college girls will you rate tonight's lineup?
This has to be a 5. This night is insane. Like, seriously, the only thing not on is a sporting event.
You know what? I'm sure football was on before, like, all this happened. It was probably on, like, during, like...
oh yeah, there's probably football during the day, but, like...
Oh yeah, King of the Hill probably didn't air in its entirety because football probably, like, went over.
Yeah, used to drive me crazy. I hated that. But yeah, like, this night is amazing. It is amazing. Like, I wish we still had nights of television like this.
When I glanced over this night of television, I was like, if she don't give it a 5, I'm going to replace her with, like, Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox. You
can't replace me. I'm the majority owner.
I'm going to dig her up from somewhere. I don't know where she's been. What's she been up to?
Oh my god, this is an amazing night of television.
If I had access to a time machine, I would go back to this day.
There is something for everyone on this night. There really is. Like,
I would have gone down to the student union building, maybe got myself an Italian sub, would have gone up, and I would have been struggling what to watch tonight. Just struggling. Struggle bussing. All right. Enough about that. Just whoever's keeping track out there, just mark that it's a Cat 5 night. I'm gonna give it a Pat 5. Yes. The whole, like, shoreline has been devastated by tonight's lineup.
Double trouble. Woohoo!
All right, so Bobby Goes Nuts. Our boy Bobby Hill, a.k.a. Booby Hill. Someone calls him Booby Hill in this episode. So it's season 6, episode 1 of King of the Hill. Like, we're in, like, classic King of the Hill era. This is, like, where things started really cooking up on that show. Things are good. Things are hot.
This is such a good time. So, like, we start off, it's pretty, like, this is one of those things I love about King of the Hill. You don't know where it's gonna go. Like, we're starting out an episode where Joseph and Bobby are like, oh, Connie's having a slumber party tonight. Like, Bobby's like, well, I can just watch from my window. And Joseph's like, I'm gonna watch with my dad's, like, heat vision goggles. Like, how do we get, like, the fact that this is what I love about the show, is you don't know where you're gonna end up by the end of the episode.
Yeah, and looking back, like, King of the Hill kind of, like, started off as kind of like a soft show, like, things, like, it was good, but it wasn't, like, great. I think we got, like, a year in, like, season 2, season 3, things started really, like, cooking up, and we started getting kind of, like, character development and continuing threads, and it just kind of, like, expanded on this, like, wild world that they created. And
it's insanely wild world. I love this world.
Arlen, Texas.
This is one of my comfort shows. For sure.
It really is, because, like, nothing, I love The Simpsons. It's wacky, but it ebbs and flows, like, depending on the era and stuff like that. And it takes itself way out there. But like King of the Hill is sort of somewhat grounded in reality, except for the fact that Peggy Hill survived like skydiving thing and the parachute failed, but she like still somehow survived.
Yeah, she was just in a cast for like a month.
Yeah, that was it. But for the most part, other than that, it's like grounded in reality. You kind of watch it and you're thinking like, oh my, like who lives like this? But you know it must be true. You know it must be true.
But at the same time, like it's very like down to earth. Like there are wacky situations, but they're based in like things that are just like everyday.
Yeah, like this could have been a live action series because the characters do age. Like Joseph has like his little mustache in this episode, his little like budding mustache.
So he's had his growth spurt that he had while at summer camp. Because there was a whole thing where like Joseph was away at summer camp and he matured over that summer and Bobby felt like he was left behind.
Yeah, and like even when the show ended, like Bobby was still the same, but everyone else like sort of grew up a little bit, but Bobby's still like
he was still like in the young teenage years. But like if we ever actually get the new King of the Hill, I believe he's going to be an adult.
Yeah, I think they were going to like actually like do an appropriate like time jump, which I think is like wild. Like it's absolutely wild. And like the show exists in a world that like it's modern times, it's 2001, but like they're somewhat still kind of like stuck in like an old world sort of, so to say. And you get like this like wild like blend of characters. You have like Dale Gribble, who's like this like conspiracy theorist kind of guy. He's like paranoid. He thinks the FBI is after him. He's afraid to clock in at work.
Hey, I know somebody like that.
Call back to the first 10 minutes of the show. You got Bill, who's kind of like when his wife left him. He used to have like long hair. He was like fit.
His wife left him. He got depressed, and he has not been the same since. Like all his worth was in this woman.
And he's just kind of like a sad sack. And then you got Boomhauer, who he's hard to explain.
Boomhauer is quite happy in his bachelorhood, but he actually like still is going out there and hooking up with all kinds of women. For the most part, he's happy. There are times where Boomhauer like is like, I want what Hank has. He wants his own version of Peggy. He's not totally creepy psycho about it the way Bill is.
He's like a less creepy Quagmire, would you say?
Oh yeah, way less creepy. Like, Boomhauer is not gonna go and flirt with the teenage daughter of one of his friends. Like, he knows the boundaries, and he knows not to cross them.
He respects them, yes. Then you got Hank, who's just kind of this, like, stuck in his ways. He doesn't accept anything new. He just kind of, like, lives the life the way he grew up. He was, like, a respectable young man, and just grew up to be a respectable middle-aged young man. Then you got my favorite character on the show is Peggy Hill. I don't know. I love myself some Peggy Hill. She's kind of like, she's a wild card. You never know where you're going to go with Peggy.
You really don't know where you're going to go with Peggy. Peggy, there are times where I'm just like, I can't with her anymore. Like, if you're binging the show, there are times where it's just like, no, Peggy, just shut up.
She's the Spanish substitute teacher who doesn't know Spanish. She's a boggle champion. She's all over the place.
She has all kinds of careers. She's always looking to find fulfillment. And Hank is like, yeah, you do you, Peggy. You do you. He's just like, I just hope I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's all he cares about. He just cares about that and propane accessories. And then we got Luann Platter, who's not in this episode.
No, she was not.
She's like the, I wouldn't call her teenage. She's like young adult niece of Peggy, who like comes to live in the house because her parents are fuck ups, and she just kind of like, she goes through a whole like story arc too. Like she goes through like a wild story arc. Like she kind of starts off, she's like kind of slutty, but then she meets like Buckley, but then Buckley dies, and she becomes all like Jesus like. Yeah,
she goes through some stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see how they handle her character now that Brittany Murphy is no longer with us. Like, are they going to recast her, or are they just going to, like, have her be dead or, like, away somewhere? I don't know.
I mean, my guess is that Luann and her husband Lucky are probably no longer in Arlen.
I would love to see how they would address that. Like, will they just do, like, the kind of, the honorable thing and just kind of, like, have her gone, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the best thing is just like Luann's just not there.
Like never, like maybe like she's meant, like it's kind of like Michelle in Full House, like they just kind of like reference her, like
They in Fuller House, yeah. It's like, oh hey.
maybe she became like a puppeteer somewhere. Maybe Manger Babies like made it big. And then you got Bobby, her boy Bobby, he's like innocent, just this kind of like, he's not his father's son, like it's because his father was like good at like football and sports and common sense, and Bobby's just like, he wants to be like a comedian. He's like chubby, he hasn't like grown into himself yet, he's awkward.
He is very much Peggy's child.
That is true. Like he's a good mixture of Peggy and the rest of Peggy's family who I can't place.
Maybe he grows into it. I don't know.
And then also in this episode, we get Connie, who's like Bobby's number one crush that lives next door.
His little girlfriend, yeah. And her crazy father, Con.
Oh, I always hated Con for some reason. I don't know.
Oh my god.
And Joseph, we already brought up Joseph, but that's pretty much like the cast for this episode. So I think we'll stick with that just to not confuse people. Like we don't have to we don't have to talk about what's his name, John Redcorn. We'll say that for the next time we do King of the Hill. All right, let's go into this world. So you already kind of aforementioned the slumber party.
Yes. Connie is having a slumber party, which is an amazing thing when you're a girl, is a slumber party. And of course, like when you hit middle school, boys are somehow involved in a slumber party. Like, you just, like, either the boys are close enough that they show up, they're like, and just want to be like, hey, can so-and-so come hang out? And no, they have a slumber party, you gotta go. Or they call on the phone. Oh, I totally had that when I had slumber parties. Like, the boys found out and they would be calling my house all night.
Oh, yeah, because they want to know what's going on.
Like, I think my mom took the phone off the hook once.
Because it was like 11:30 p.m. and the phone is ringing.
Like, remember when that was like the thing, getting a call from like a boy or a girl or whatever and being like...
This was like landline era. So if you called like late, like if you called after like 10 o'clock at night, like that's going to raise some like red flags.
Yes.
So, major red flags. So you had to call like earlier in the day and then like not earlier in the day, but like 9:20 maybe, and then like stay on the phone and just pray that it doesn't get disconnected, because then you'd have to call back. And then like every phone in the house would ring, and there's always like one in a bedroom somewhere, or like there's like 11 phones in like houses in the 90s. So
yes, like we all, because you have the phone in the kitchen, like you have the phone in your parents' room, and like once you hit a certain age, you had a phone in your room.
Yeah, maybe if you were in like the Brady Bunch house in like 1971, you could have got away with it because there's only like one phone in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Maybe like no one in the rest of the house heard it, but in the 90s, you definitely would hear like the phone ring everywhere, like all over the place.
I know there was a phone in the kitchen, there was one in my parents' room, and there was one in my bedroom. Or
if you were shifty, what you would do is you would like go around and like lower the volume on the ringers everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, you know what the thing is, like, okay, so like when I was a kid, when I was like Bobby's age, and I was having slumber parties in middle school, like if anybody called after 9 o'clock, they were not getting through. Because by 9 o'clock at night, that's when like the long distance rates started to go down. And you could make those long distance, like my mom could call her sister in Colorado and they could catch up. Or she could call her niece down in like South Carolina or whatever and talk to her. Like that's when those calls would start to get made.
Yeah. Or you know what? Sometimes what you can also do, kind of going back to like the phone ringing.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is you remember like when answer machine tapes stopped becoming a thing, and then it was like a call-in number. Like you just called like your own number, and you get to that like voicemail line.
Yeah, like if you actually call your own cell phone.
Yeah. So you did that. And then you stay on, like you just like leave it up to your ear and you just listen for like the call waiting tone. So that was like, that was the trick to get through, to avoid every phone in the house ringing. You just called up the answer machine line and just stayed like idle on there and just kind of like go through all the messages over and over again. Life hack.
I know. I don't think I ever did that. There did come to a point though, like, we talked about this. In high school, I had the pager. We actually talked about this at work the other day. pagers.
Oh yeah. The pager was like a good thing because you could put it on buzz mode. You put it on buzz mode, but the problem was you had to call back, so you had to like.
Yes, I had to. So like you would page me, and then I'd have to call you back, and your parents would be like, nobody paged you," and I'm like, "I don't know. This is just the number." And like I didn't like there were like I couldn't connect that number was yours for some reason.
It's hard. You know what?
Yeah, it was hard. Like back then. Yeah. I wouldn't know like if it was you or Steven or Mariah paging me.
Oh, because it's all 3 different area codes.
Yeah.
Not your own.
And like Steven would page me and then it would just be like, Tim was on Sunset Beach today.
Lame.
So silly.
So lame. Yeah, so anyway, Connie's having her like gal pal slumber party, and it's like I feel like she invited like the cool kids. Like these aren't people she like usually hangs out with, because I feel like she was like trying to impress these broads for some reason.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, you have to think about this. Connie is not your normal Texas girl. You know, she's an Asian girl. She's got batshit crazy parents, which Con proves when he like makes them sign contracts for the slumber party, like charges them for the continental breakfast in the morning. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what is this? This is not a slumber party.
Oh yeah, and it was like after 9:30, no pillow fights, no talking. It's sleeping.
Yeah, it's just sleeping. And it's like, no, dude, this isn't how this works.
Yeah, one of the girls forgets to initial here on like one of the lines, and he like freaks out at her. I would have just walked out of the house at that point. I
would have been like, Mom, this guy is trying to make me sign a contract. I am a minor. This is not legal.
Yeah, it's not legally binding.
Yeah, like the girls are having a pillow fight, and Bobby's watching in his room.
Yeah, with popcorn. He's like at his window, and he's
popcorn. He's just like watching, like he's got his lights off so they can't see him. Oh my god!
But I guess they're too loud. The girls are too loud. So like Con comes in, and he yells, and he takes all the pillows, and the girls are upset. The girls are upset. They're kind of like disappointed they came to Connie's house. Like, you know what? They're gonna give her a shot. Maybe they were gonna like let her like join the clique, like the like fun little clique. But now they're regretting it. And Connie like just happens to do like a cursory glance like outside the window, and she just happens to see Bobby, who like immediately ducks, and she's like she like opens up her window and she like grabs his attention. So he opens up his, and she's like,
yeah, she calls to him. She's like, Bobby, my party is failing. And Bobby is the class clown.
Yeah,
he is that hilarious kid that people enjoy, and she wants him to liven things up, even though her father has already come in and stolen all the pillows.
Yeah. So he immediately hops out of his window. He like falls in the bushes, and you just see like the bushes move, and he like comes up, and he goes to like roll into her window, but his shirt gets caught on like a nail, like the head of a nail, and it half tears off, and all the girls are like, "Oh, I think you're gonna have to do a striptease for us."
Oh, Bobby. Which, what?
So,
what was that? That was so weird to me.
They throw in this like super basic like pop song, which like this was, I don't know who it was, but this is like an actual song. Like I don't know, maybe it was like like all what was it like? Not the Spice Girls. What was that other group that came out around the same time? Like,
Dream. Yeah,
Dream, or like Five.
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. That was not Destiny's Child.
Maybe it was the original members of Destiny's Child. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it could have been like the non-Beyonce and non-Kelly Rowland girls.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby's like dancing this song. He like rips his shirt off, and like in the middle of like the peak of this, like the cool dudes show up. It's like these like 3 other dudes show up, and they're taller.
And Connie's like, "What are you doing here? Who told you we were having this slumber party?" And like this one like snotty girl who is probably going to be popular in middle school, but not so much once they hit high school. Yeah. But she's definitely the girl who moves too fast.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, I told all the guys about the party." And yeah. So the guys like come in and they give Bobby shit.
You know why they do? Because they're jealous, because the girls actually like Bobby.
Yeah, like, well, they kind of like saw the end of his like dance routine with the girls, and they were like, "Oh fuck!" So like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I just like that they were like out roaming around at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Okay. So like when I had slumber parties, I didn't have boys show up during the actual slumber party. There was a time, like the next day, like when some of the girls were still there, a couple of guys from my class showed up at my house.
Oh, like maybe like 10 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
You know, they were probably up all night, like wondering what was going on. Like, what's going on?
Probably. Who knows? Who knows? I'm Facebook friends with like all of these people still.
I wonder if they're talking about us.
Oh my gosh, those days were wild.
So these dudes are just roaming around Arlen, Texas. I'm guessing one of the guys, they probably like stayed at like, they probably did that thing where they all like said they were staying at like each other's house so they could just like walk around all night.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, probably.
They're just roaming the streets of Arlen, Texas, like going through backyards and stuff and like the alleys between the houses. They probably had to walk like 4 miles to get to Connie's house. Like, let's be real.
Oh yeah, they probably just like, oh, okay. We told our parents we were gonna sleep over at each other's houses. Like, we gotta try and figure out like what's a good time to actually show up at Connie's house. And like they know Khan. They like the leader of the little group knows Khan, and they know that he's batshit crazy, but he's gonna let him get away with it because his dad is Khan's boss.
Yes, because Khan ends up coming into the room because he hears all the commotion because like a mini argument breaks out between Bobby and the other guys. So Khan comes in and he's like about to like tear shit up, and then he sees it's like his boss's son is like the leader of this group. He's like
and he's like, oh hey guys, Bobby, get out of here.
Yeah,
but he's gonna let these other kids stay. Like, Khan, Bobby's good for Connie.
So he makes Bobby leave through the window, and the other dudes he lets them go through the front door. And so like Bobby like I don't know why he went around his house to the front, but for some reason he did instead of just like going like into his room.
He's probably like he's already lost his shirt. Like
he like runs into the guys like in the alley like between his house, and they're just like you have 2 options. You either got to like eat dirt or you got to like let us beat you down. And he's kind of like, well, you know what? If you're going to beat me down, I'm just going to yell my dad's name and he's going to come down and like take care of it.
Bobby, you were too old for that.
And we kind of get into it because he says he's not going to eat dirt because he thought that would happen. So he starts like yelling Hank's name, and then it cuts over and like Hank's watching he's like asleep on the couch watching like a movie and he doesn't even wake up. Like, it doesn't even, like, startle him at all. So Bobby comes in, he's, like, covered in dirt and blood and bruises, and Hank's like, what in the hell? Like, what in the hell have you gotten into? And he's like, I got in a fight with Chance. You know, Chance, from down the street. He's like, I think you should go over there and make his dad eat dirt. And he's like, you know what, Bobby? He's like, around that time you were 10 years old, and I pulled that girl off you at the, like, after the football game. Well, you know what? We can't be doing that anymore. You need to learn how to take care of yourself. You need to learn how to fight. So tomorrow, I'm going to drop you off at the YMCA. Because you know what? Anything you can learn at the Y.
Yeah, for real. That's not wrong. Like,
so we cut to, like, the next day. And, like, Hank just, like, doesn't go in with him. He just drops Bobby off at the YMCA, like, that local Arlen chapter. And just, like, sends Bobby in to, like, do all this stuff on his own. So Bobby goes up to, like, the clerk. And he, like, wants to sign up for, like, the boxing class or something?
The boxing class. Like, Hank wants him to take a boxing class. The boxing class is full. There's, like, one class that can kind of help him. This guy's like, I don't know if you really want to be taking this one. But Bobby, like, glances in. He's like, no, this is the class for me. This is the class for me. This is where I belong. It is a room full of women.
So he, like, rolls into this women's self-defense class, and there's, like, one guy sitting, like, in a chair, and so Bobby sits next to him, and they just, like, look at each other, just kind of do, like, a head nod, like the, like, what's up kind of thing. And then we get this, like, gym teacher-y looking type, like...
It's just, like, the volunteer teacher, like...
Yeah. She's wearing, like a Nike Adidas jumpsuit, like a tracksuit. She has a whistle around her neck. You can tell that she has, like something happened to her that like led her here tonight.
Like something has led her to this world.
she starts the class, and like the other guy that Bobby's with gets up and he puts on this like padding, like, because he's gonna be like the dummy, like the one that the women all like beat up.
That's what he is there for. Like, do you think that pays good money, or do you think it's just like he's got a lot of issues and likes to get beat up by women?
Ooh, I didn't think about this. Like you're saying, like it could be like a fetish for him.
Yeah, like
he uses this as like a crutch to meet women. Like he like comes in. It's like a Saturday morning. He comes in. It's just these like, I guess just women in despair. They're having like a despairing moment in their life. You know, like they don't feel safe anymore. And he kind of comes in as like this like, you know what? Why don't you beat me around for a little bit, and then maybe like after class we can go get some coffee. We can go down to like the Roadhouse.
I could see that. I could totally see that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is a pre-Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, whatever dating app world. Like, you actually had to go out into the world to meet people. How do people do that? I don't know.
And you know what? The Roadhouse, like the little like Arlen Roadhouse that he used to go to, probably like just didn't work. Like he just was meeting the wrong women
like,
there.
There's a point where you've met all the ladies that are gonna go there.
He just found like a whole new like genre of women to like seduce. I want like a spin-off, like a side episode spin-off of like a fanfic of like that guy's like day.
That guy's like life, a day in his life.
Like he probably has like a business card, like a beat up dummy business card that he hands to these girls after. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know what? I'll be down at the Arlen Roadhouse from 4 to 8. You know, happy hour. It's like all you can eat peanuts. You can like just slide them off the table onto the floor, and the waitresses do like line dancing in the aisles between the booths.
Is this like Coyote Ugly Bar too? Like,
I was thinking like Texas Roadhouse, like the franchise, like
the franchise where you get like the good biscuits.
Yeah, they have the good like butter biscuits, and then like they just give you like that bucket of peanuts, and like you just like when you're done, you just like slide the peanut shells off.
It's been a while since I've been to Texas Roadhouse, but it is just down the street.
And then like every like 40 minutes, like they just start playing like a I don't know, like a Garth Brooks song, and then like all the staff comes out and does like a line kick, like a little line dance, like around the place.
You know, Garth Brooks is not like the big name in country anymore. You know that, right?
It was 2001.
Yeah, back then, yeah, he still was.
Or were we in Chris Gaines era? Like he was on the wind down.
Yeah, he had definitely tried the Chris Gaines thing, but he was still country enough.
When was Chris Gaines? Is that like around this time, you think? Or is this like
I think we were in high school.
1999 is when the Chris Gaines. Yeah, so we're after that. Like we're beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know, the Dixie Chicks, were they hot around? No, I think we're like pre-Dixie Chicks at this point.
No, we're Dixie Chicks are big right now, but they are now the chicks. They are the chicks.
All right. So
because we had to drop the Dixie, just like Lady A had to drop the antebellum.
I feel like
this this is like Sarah Evans, Brad Paisley. He's big right about now.
All right, so
Paisley. Kenny Chesney. Ooh, Tim McGraw.
Oh yeah, this is Tim McGraw's America. All right, so it's 2001. You're at Texas Roadhouse. And every 40 minutes, what, a Tim McGraw song plays?
Yes.
Okay. And all the staff comes out and they do like a little line dance around like the tables, and I don't know. And then like some poor like 14-year-old kid comes by and sweeps up all the peanut shells.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's where this guy goes after class, or he tries to woo these girls there.
Yeah. So
the instructor is kind of like shaming Bobby for like being here. He's like, "You're not a woman.
You don't need this class. Like, what are you doing?" Like,
and he's like, "I hate men too."
I was forced to eat dirt. She's like, "Okay, you can stay."
So she lets him go first because she wants to prove that she doesn't hate men. So she lets Bobby go first, and he kind of like, she's like, "All right." She kind of like does a little role play, and she's like, "This is what you got to do. You got to say like, I don't know you. Don't touch my purse," kind of thing. Don't take my purse. So he like,
"I don't know you. That's my purse."
That's it. That's the line. So he.
That's my purse. That is what you yell, and people will know you don't know this guy, and that is your purse that they are trying to take from you. Even if you were 13-year-old boy get beat up by another 12, 13-year-old boy.
So Bobby like initially acts it out, but he does like a bad job, and she's like, you need to put like more energy into it. Just picture your bully, just picture your attacker. And he kind of has like a moment when he channels in the rage, and he just shouts at, I don't know you, that's my purse. And he like kicks the guy square in the nuts, like through the padding, and it hurts him. Like, and he like actually like affects him a little bit.
Yeah, like Bobby did it. He did the thing.
Yeah. And so I guess that guy won't be going to the Arlen Roadhouse later today.
No, but you know what? The little grandma that is totally going to give him ice for his area later.
That is true.
She'll take care of him.
She'll take care of him.
That is probably the most luck he's getting out of any of these women.
So we cut to like, it's like the following Monday or something. It's like a few days later.
Like Hank thinks
it's the first day back to school.
Boxing classes, so he thinks Bobby is going to know what to do with the left or right fist. And Hank, do you not know your son, man?
If you just took the time and went into the Y with him and not just drop him off, you could have, guided him in the right direction. So anyway, so it's like we're at school. It's like the first day back after the slumber party, and he's like walking along with Connie, I think. Like they're outside. It's like after school or something. Yeah.
It's after school, and that little trio wants to try and make Bobby eat dirt again.
Little do they know.
That is not happening, little boys. That is not happening.
Yeah. So he pushes Bobby on the ground, and he starts like pushing his face in the ground, and then Bobby like manages to roll over, and he shouts his line, I don't know you. That's my purse. And he kicks like the leader like square in the nuts. He like falls down, he collapses on the ground. And then the other guys just like run away. They're like they don't know what to do. They're just like
we're not even going to attempt it. This boy's because the best part is the I don't know you. That's my purse throws off the lead bully so much that Bobby gets the opportunity to kick him in the nuts.
Yes. So Bobby comes home, and like Peggy and Hank are just like, they're just like chilling on the kitchen table or whatever, like reading the paper or something. And Bobby comes in, he's like, Dad, you're not going to believe it. I stood up to the bully. And like Hank's like proud. He's like, oh, thank you. Oh, like, you're my boy. Like, never thought it. Like, who knew that all those like Y lessons would turn you into a man?
Hank is just thrilled that Bobby has stood up for himself.
Yeah, he even like Bobby's like, yeah, but I got detention tomorrow. He's like, you know what? I don't care. He's like, I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you. You earned that detention. Mm-hmm. Peggy doesn't say anything, but she kind of like rolls her eyes. She just does you know what? I'll just allow this to happen. Whatever. Like this. Hopefully, this is just an isolated incident, and we never have to deal with this again. But
hey, at least now my son is not going to be coming home after eating dirt and have to brush his teeth 45 times.
That is true. So now, like Bobby's walking to detention, and he's like, Joseph is walking him to it, and Joseph's like, well, my dad told me, he's like, you got to stand up to the biggest person there to make, to show that you own them. And then everyone else will look up to you and they won't look down at you. Mm-hmm. So Bobby literally like walks in, and like someone kind of gives him shit like immediately. And Bobby's like, which one of you guys are the tallest? And he just like multiple people he like kicks in the nuts. It's like three guys, like just three randos.
He gets three of them. He goes, that it's like, we got to suspend your boy, Hank. Like, this isn't okay. But he gets another one first. Yeah, there's like another bully like in the hallway. He has like one of those like, so it has like one of those mohawks that you like tie back a little bit, like in a ponytail. Like. And he's like a bully we see throughout the series, and he's like picking on some little kid, and Bobby's like, nuh-uh, because Bobby's like puffed up. He's confident. He believes in himself right now. He's got this power, and he's not afraid to use it at all. Like, at all. No. So he kicks this guy square in the nuts again, and like now the principal like calls the Hill residents, and they want Hank and Peggy to come down, and Hank's like, oh, I'd be honored to come down. He's like, I would just love to shoot shit with this principal. That's when it like comes to the actually no, hold on. So like what ends up happening is the principal's like, I'm going to call Bobby, and he's going to explain to you what happened. So like Bobby comes in, Yeah, like, he's gonna tell you what's been going on.
So he, like, builds up this story. He's like, so there I was. He's like, you know, Chance was staring me dead in the eye, you know, and he, like, pushed me on the ground, and, like, he, like, built the story. He's like, and then I turned around and kicked him in the nuts. Or kicked him in the testicles. They say testicles in this episode. And Hank's like, oh, what? Like,
Hank is like, excuse me, child.
and then the principal's like, all right, now tell him what happened with the 3 guys in detention. And, like, Bobby starts to, like, tell this grandiose story again. And then he's like, no, just cut to the end. He's like, and I kicked him all in the testicles. And Hank's pissed. He's, like, upset. So he takes Bobby home. They're in the garage. He's got his boxing gloves out, his old, like, junior YCMA boxing gloves that he still has.
He's all like, you can't do this anymore. This isn't what we do. This is, like, you gotta, like, you don't hit below the belt. Like, he has drawn a diagram. He's, like, telling him, you know, this is what we do. We don't hit below the belt because it hurts. Like, it...
He's like, real men. He's like, Cassius Clay wouldn't do this.
God, it's great. It's great. I love this moment. This moment is just beautiful.
So what's his name? So Bobby is now kind of like being almost like, I wouldn't say bullied, but just kind of being like tempted by Hank. Hank's like making him do like these little jukes and stuff. And he's like hitting him in the face, like tapping him.
Hank like is punching him. Like, okay, they're not like real punches, but there is a lot of aggression and tension between the two of them on a good day. So this kind of just like pushes Bobby to the edge. And Bobby does the only thing he knows how to do. And it is beautiful.
He kicks Hank Hill square in the jimmies. Just square in the jimmies. And
it's so bad. It's so bad they have to call the paramedics.
Yeah, the paramedic comes.
Because Hank has passed out.
Hank is like laying on like a backboard, like on the garage floor with like a drape over him. And you see, like, the paramedic, he, like, pulls, like, his hands out from the drape. He's like, yeah, he's like, it's so swollen. He's like, I don't even know if there's 2 testicles there. He's like, we might not know for a couple of days. Like,
gotta wait for the swelling to go down.
So he's like, you need strict bed rest and, like, put some cold compresses on there. So, like, it cuts over to, like, Hank's, like, on his, like, recliner. Like, the legs are up, and he's got the blanket draped over him, and he's, like, watching whatever Hank Hill watches on, like, a Saturday night. And, like, Bobby comes in. He's like, hey, Dad, I got some ice cream for you. And Hank's like, oh, thank you. So he hands him the ice cream, and, like, Hank immediately puts it on his sack, and then he pulls out these, like frozen peas or something that's probably been there all day. And he kind of gives the lecture to Bobby again, and Bobby still is, like, he's standing by, like, his method. He's like, you know what? He's like, it works for me.
Yeah, like, he's bad at 100 right now.
Yeah. He's like,
you know?
He's like, this works for me.
He has
like,
taken them all out that have been, like, bullying him.
Who talks him into, like, being defiant with his father? I honestly can't. Khan, that's it. Okay. So he, like, runs into Khan outside, or because, like, I think he goes to talk to Connie, like.
Yeah, he goes to talk to Connie because he's in trouble. Hank has taken away TV, video games, like, basically everything possible in 2001 for a 13-year-old boy.
And Khan, like, comes out, and he's, like, upset at first, but then he's like, oh, but I'll give you a pass because you kicked your father in the nuts. So he's like, and then Bobby was just kind of, like, talking about how, like, oh, you know, my dad's upset with me, and all this kind of stuff.
And Khan's like, but you're the big dog now.
Yeah, he's like, you're the big man on campus.
Yeah, you're the one. You've got all the power. Your dad can't do anything to you. He can barely walk. What are you afraid of? He can't do anything. So Bobby rolls with it. And Hank is like, Bobby starts playing a video game, and Hank, like, gets out of his recliner, like, so much pain.
Yeah, he, like, falls down pretty much immediately. He just, like, trips.
And he's like, Bobby, you knock that off right now, young man. And Bobby's like, yeah, whatever.
And he slowly, like, chases Bobby outside, because it takes him forever. Because, like, Bobby, as soon as, like, Hank gets close, Bobby just, like, goes into another room.
Yeah, Bobby's just like, yeah, I'll think about it. Stands up, walks away.
He ends up outside, and, like, now the neighbors are watching, like, they hear all the commotion. It's pretty embarrassing from Hank's perspective. And Peggy comes out, like, she, like, overhears this, like, all this stuff going on, and she kind of is like, you know what, I'm gonna get involved now. I want to, like, throw myself into the mix. and she lays into Bobby. She like pretty much like beats the fuck out of him.
This is like Hank's worst nightmare, like the white trash moment of this all.
Yeah, and like the whole neighborhood sees this. Like everyone's looking over the fences.
Oh, when Connie's like, yeah, go Bobby, go Bobby.
Peggy meant like after like 2 minutes of like wrestling in the backyard, Bobby's like on the ground. Peggy's like hovering over him, and Bobby resorts to like his maneuver where he's gonna kick someone in the groin. But little does he know that Peggy Hill doesn't have nuts, so like it doesn't affect her like whatsoever. Bobby's defeated, and like Peggy's like, and if you ever do that again, she's like, I know where you sleep or something like that. It's great
because Peggy is definitely batshit crazy.
Yeah. And Peggy just goes in the house, and like Hank comes over, and he's just like, hey, you know what? He's like, just remember that, Bobby. He's like, if I'm not able to act upon it, he's like, I know where Peggy is, and I can stick her on you. And he's scared. And that pretty much like wraps it up, I guess.
I mean, who would you be more afraid of, Peggy or Hank?
Probably Peggy. She was scary AF in this like scene right here. It was like demonic Peggy.
Here's the thing, like, Hank, you know what you're getting. Like, you kind of have, like, an idea of what moves he would make. Peggy is just so out of her mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Peggy is crazy.
Such a wild card. Like, like, what would this woman do?
She's the Boggle champion of Arlen, probably of all Texas, wasn't? Didn't she win, like the state championship or something?
Who knows what she actually won compared to what she says she won?
She survived skydiving where the parachute didn't open.
She survived Mexican prison.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. She went to Mexican prison. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because she kidnapped that kid on accident.
It's like the next episode too, I think, actually.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely this season.
Because I think I let it play until like the next episode for a few minutes, and I was like, oh yeah, it's that episode. I might even go watch that after this, after we're done recording. We'll do that next week.
She's just that crazy. She's just that crazy.
I love it. I love it. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Like, there's no, like...
It's just Peggy defeats Bobby after he realizes he can't kick her in the nuts.
He never touches another nut again. As long as he lives. It was a great episode. You know what? Like, as I said, I was actually, like, laughing my buns off. Like, and I don't, like, usually, like, laugh at sitcoms that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I was, like, sending you video clips from it this morning.
Oh, that's great. It was great. Which, are we going to get a double 5 tonight? A double 5? Is this a rare night?
It might be.
I'm adding up all the receipts. I'm like, I'm doing a little tabulating over here, and I'm going to give this a 5. This episode definitely got 5, like 5 Jimmies right here.
Same. It's a 5. It's a great episode. It's just so much fun.
I think everyone in the world should watch this episode. Like, you know what? If you've never seen it, just stop what you're doing right now, go on Hulu or like whatever, and watch this.
Yeah. If you only watch one episode of King of the Hill,
make it this one. This is the one. Not the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar as the older girl that Bobby has a crush on.
Not one of the classic Thanksgivings, not even the Halloween or the Christmases. This is the one episode.
This is. You know what? Yeah. This is the definitive episode right here.
It's iconic.
Although I do like the one where they think Dale has rabies.
That's good too.
Great episode.
It's a great show. I love this show. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and I hope it comes back, and I hope we get like adult Bobby, adult Connie.
I want to know what adult Bobby's doing. Like, do you think Hank ever actually became the manager of Strickland Propane?
I feel like he did. I feel like he's like a silent partner or something. Like he's on the board of directors. Like I feel like he's like definitely retired age now. I
feel like Buck had to make him manager at some point because of some kind of legal thing Buck got into. I'm sure.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How old was Hank Hill? Like,
I want to believe like at the start he was in his late 30s.
You want to hear something wild? I just found this on Wikipedia. It says he was born April 15th, 1953.
Okay, so he's in his 40s.
Yeah, the show started in 1997, so he would have been 44 at the start of the show.
Woohoo! A character that's older than us.
So that was 25 years ago. So 45 plus 25. Hank Hill is 69 right now.
Oh yeah, he and Peggy should definitely be retired.
Oh yeah, they travel the country, and Bobby. I don't know. Like, do you think Bobby went on to like a local stand-up comedian career?
You know, I think. See, I think. Bob. Okay, so this is what I think. Let's say Peggy and Hank have retired. They're in the RV. They're doing like the crisscross country thing, you know. And like, imagine like the new series starts like when they come back to Arlen for a little rest from like riding around the RV to see Bobby. Bobby has taken over the house. Bobby has redecorated the house. Like, this is not their house anymore. It's Bobby's house now. Bobby is single. And I could see Bobby being like a local radio DJ.
Like a Mike FM kind of channel.
Like, he's like the morning show host or something, you know?
Oh yeah. He's got like the quirky show with like sound effects and stuff. Like air horns, and
they make the crank calls and all that stuff that I think morning show hosts still do. I don't know.
I think they do. I feel like they do. You want to dip into the archives for next week? You want to do a book club? Maybe a book club that we might have lingering around still out there?
That would probably be a good idea to get that book club out.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to go back to the books. We're going to go back to the library. We're going to pick up a classic. A classic. What's her name? Cecily von something.
Cecily von Ziegler?
Yeah, we're going to we're going to dust off a Cecily von Ziegler classic. Ended up becoming a very popular CW series, and then a not so popular HBO Max series.
I like totally forgot about the second part of the first season until like just now.
It launched the careers of our girl Blake Lively, the one that you like,
Leighton Meester. Like, why are you so down on her? She's freaking amazing.
I always just forget her. She's a person. Sorry, Leighton.
She Meester. Okay, so she married Adam Brody instead of marrying Ryan Reynolds. Like, she didn't do too bad.
If you had to pick between the two, all right, let's say Kat Halstead, the CW star, it's like 2011. Your show's just coming to an end. Things are wrapping up, and you're out at like some like cool Hollywood bar, the Viper Room. I don't know, and you see Ryan Reynolds and you see Adam Brody, and it's a little like kind of sliding door situation here. So like you either make like one move or the other.
Adam Brody.
Oh, ooh, plot twist. You don't want to be with Deadpool or the Free Guy or Green Lantern.
No.
He's got multiple franchises that he's a part of. Oh, you go to Adam Brody, who I don't even know what he's doing lately. What is he up to?
He is popping up in all kinds of stuff. Like, I saw him in Mrs. America, that Hulu FX show.
Okay, never heard of it. Don't know her. Don't know her. .gif.
Oh my god. It was amazing. He's in the Shazam movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. How many Shazam movies are there?
There's one that's out. The new one comes out in December because it got pushed up because of the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp stuff.
I'm gonna throw something out there. I've never seen Shazam. And I have zero interest in watching it, too.
Okay, so we know I'm a Marvel girl. We know Marvel is my jam. But I love Shazam from DC. You know why? Because it's not like super dark and depressing like every other movie they put out.
All right, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll swing into the Shazam-averse and see what the Shazam-averse has to offer.
It's a fun movie. Like, I took Axton to see it. He's got a Shazam action figure.
Oh, they made a Shazam action figure? Like, it's that popular?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw this up there. Like, I think you're the only person I know that has watched Shazam. like, it blows my mind that they like wanted to make a sequel to this. So it's like, Shazam.
I'm so ready for the sequel.
I'm like,
Like, I think I like okay, so it came out like right after Miss Marvel,
what's Ms. Marvel? Like
right?
the TV show?
Or not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. And like there were all these like articles about how he was originally known as Captain Marvel, like the whole
Legend of Shazam
name thing. Yeah.
My God. Did we ever say we're doing Gossip Girl next week? By the way, did we ever announce that?
I don't think we ever actually flat out.
Well, we're doing the Gossip Girl the book.
We're doing the Gossip Girl book.
Yeah, we read the first book. We recorded like well over a year ago. I could not tell you what we talked about on it, to be honest with you.
I don't.
I'm dying to know what my opinions of it are because I just remember like not being entertained by when I was listening to the audiobook. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I remember being like, I thought more happened in this book. Because like I read the actual book like a decade before.
Like when like this, because I think it came out like 2001 originally, right? Like,
yeah, the book did, yeah.
Probably like the day this episode of King of the Hill aired, the book probably like hit like Borders bookstore, hit the shelves at Borders, and all the Von Sieglerites out there were like flocking to the stocks to pick them up. Stacks. Are they called stacks? Not stocks.
Oh my God.
Sorry. All right. Anything left on Ryan Reynolds, Adam Brody, Leighton Meister, Blake Lively, Shazam?
No, I think we're good until we actually do like a show with one of them in it.
Yeah. Maybe someday we'll do Gossip Girl the series. Or like the single parent. What's the show that you like? It's the single guy or
Single parent.
Single parent. That's right. That
show was so good. ABC, you made a mistake.
You made a mistake when you canceled Happy Endings. I'll go with that. All right. Where can you follow our Wild House Adventures? Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept invitations, and I'm trying to figure out how to do a TikTok.
Yeah. Try to figure it out. And as always, girl, as always,
bye!
Watch the ground for Bobby Hill's shoes swinging in your direction.